even if you have some drawing experience, you are much more likely, like the mistake you're most likely to make in drawing this handle is that, let me get into it dark here, you'll show too much of it, right? Like you're most likely to do that because in our minds, we know that mugs have handles like that. Like we know that's what the handle is. If we were to see this mug from a different angle, that would be the handle. But what you're actually seeing in the handle is an angle that's more like this, right? Because you're not seeing a lot of what's happening. So here you're seeing the profile. This is the profile of the handle. And here you're seeing a lot of the back of the handle, like the part that your palm would rest on. You're seeing a lot of the back of it and only a little bit of the interior. This is not amazing drawing. I'll be the first to admit it. But if you think about just the shape of the highlight on the shape of the general highlight on this handle, you have this light area at the top, you have a skinny side, and then you have a light area at the bottom. And I'm not even talking about like the highlight around the rim. I'm really just talking about the lightest areas in general without the like specific details of the rim being lighter. So I would think of this as a shape more than anything else. One more thing that I'll point out, because you're probably, as I accuse you all, I don't know what you actually would do, but you would probably want the handle to project out from the edge of this cup, because you know that's what it's doing. It's a handle. Your brain knows that if you saw this cup straight on, the handle would be breaking this contour on this side of the cup, but it's not doing that. To my eye, the handle is not breaking this line at all. It's all within the interior of the cup, which makes it more challenging as a drawing issue. It makes it challenging as a seeing issue as well, to see that difference. But how I would think about it is try to keep it as simple as possible. So here, you know, okay, so this light is close to the edge of the cup and it's close to the top of the cup, but it's not touching either one of them. So if I just think of, okay, here's the light on the top, and then I'm gonna just, and this is my middle gray that I'm in because I don't want this to be super light. Here is this light shape, and then I'm just gonna drag this down, and it needs to go farther than I have it going. So I'm gonna make that little correction. I think it needs to go a little bit straighter for a little bit longer. And then, you know, here's your light at the bottom. And this is getting you really far to where you need to go to get this handle so that it makes sense to your viewer. So even if I left it like this, your viewer understands what's happening here. If you look at the shadow on the top of that handle, it's basically the same as the shadow around it. So why do we need to even add anything to differentiate it? We really don't. It's the same thing as how the shadow values on the water pitcher and the side of the cup are basically the same. And we only have these little indicators of where the edge actually is. I think in the handle, we have even fewer indicators. Like maybe there's a little bit of light on this edge. Like maybe there's a tiny, tiny bit of extra light on this edge, which is different than the value behind it. So maybe I'll put in a tiny bit of that, but I think it might even look better without